Welcome to Singapore.
So, mate, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'm so pleased that you're here with us. And Singapore is the first country in Asia to do your premiere. So we're truly, truly proud.
It is, and it's great to be back here in Singapore. Great fans here. It's going to be a big night. And you've done a fabulous job organising. So from all the people at Reboot, thank you very much, Sally, mate.
Thank you. Now, on behalf of the coaches at Catalyst Health, they all want me to tell you that your first phenomenal Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead video has been such a powerful tool. So sometimes when I think about your journey, Joe, and you know, it's been several years now since you did that major transformation. Yeah. Now, my question to you is, if you had the chance to do it over again, what would you change?
Gee, that's a good question. I think that probably... I think we can always improve ourselves. I mean, I don't know anyone who's perfect. I think probably the thing for me that I want to get better at is getting a routine of exercise. So I think if I could go back, I'd probably would be working more on that exercise routine, but I'm working on it now. So I don't generally like to sort of think about changing things because I'm pretty happy with where I am. But if you're forcing me into a corner and saying, what would you change? I'd probably say I would change the idea of my attitude towards exercise. I'd try and get more of a routine in earlier on in the piece.
Okay, but I imagine it would be difficult because you travel so much. So I can understand that too. You know?
That's the lack of routine. You know, when you don't have routine, it's hard. But, you know, we have to work out ways. That's what we have to do. We have to find ways. Yeah, look, what's interesting, I think, is that when people watch the movie Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, the first one, a lot of people see themselves somewhere in that journey, whether it's me, whether it's Phil, whether it's someone else that we met along the road. And I think it's very powerful when that change comes from within and it's not from somebody else telling you to change. I don't think people like being told what to do. And so I'm a big believer in that if it comes from within, that's powerful. Now, what media has the power to do is it has the power to create that transformational shift. So I guess that I think that that's probably the number one thing I hear. Of course, you know, when people are sick, they're much more likely to want to make a change than just being overweight. And I'm a big fan of focusing more on health than on weight.
Now, what would you consider would be the top 3 most useful tools or advice that you want us to remember after the honeymoon period?
So I would say number 1 would be staying as part of a community, to be connected. So whether that's with an online group or a physical group or your health coach, a little bit like what you're doing, having that kind of connection. So that's kind of brings accountability. I would think also not to be too hard on yourself. I think we are sometimes our own worst enemy, so we don't want to do that. And I would say number 3 is just to create little habits that you can bring into your daily life that can help remind you, so that instead of saying, oh, I have to have a juice, you actually just do it automatically.
Get to a stage where you want a juice and you want the nutrients.
Autopilot.
Fantastic. Great, Joe. That's all I have for you. Thank you, and looking forward to the movie.
Thank you for bringing me to Singapore.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for being here.